Hello, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday morning so far. I know it feels like a shorter week just because of the long weekend that we just had. Hope all you guys had a good long weekend. I hope that your week is going well. And haven't made a video in a little bit just because I've been so busy cooking and also busy taking care of some other stuff that needs to be taken care of. But I'm here, and we're gonna before we get into what we're gonna talk about today, as usual, if you would like a one-on-one session, please email me paul.wisdom_03 at hotmail.com, or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need some more advice, if you're trying to figure out whether the person you're dealing with is in fact a narcissist or not, please feel free to reach out. I do want to mention though, if you do want to call, just send a text to the number and just let me know that it's you and you want to talk about your narcissistic experience. You've been watching my videos for quite some time, and then we can get you the help that you need. If you just called me out of nowhere, I'm probably just going to block the number just because I just don't answer from random numbers whom I'm unfamiliar with, okay? So yeah, just do me a favor. Just send a text, let me know it's you, and then we can get you the help that you need. Okay, so what we are going to talk about today is all it takes is one person to ruin everything. Yes, all it takes is one person to ruin everything. Picture you're having a really good day. Your day is going amazing. You're having one of the best days ever. Maybe you just got a promotion. Maybe you just got some really good news. Maybe you got approved for that mortgage to buy the house, to buy a new house. Maybe you just got news that you were successful in getting a job offer for that dream job that you wanted. Maybe you got approved for that for maybe you're looking to purchase a car or something like that, and maybe you just got some really good news that you've been approved to get this car that you've always wanted. Maybe it was something simple, like you just went to the store and there was something on sale that you saw, and you've always wanted it and you were able to purchase it. So now it makes your day so happy. Maybe it could be anything. Maybe you're just let's just say that you're having a really good day and something really good happened, and then what happens? That's right. A person ruins that day for you. Maybe they blame you for something that happened maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and you're trying to figure out what it has to do with the right now. Maybe this person, maybe you come into work. Let's say you're having a really good morning so far, and let's say you come into work and your boss is blaming you for something that has nothing to do with you. Maybe they're taking another colleague's complaint, maybe they're taking another colleague's problem, and maybe they're blaming it on you, and you have absolutely nothing to do with that, right? Let's say that you woke up. Let's say that you're at home, and let's say that you woke up in the morning, and let's say that you're hoping for a really good day. You're excited. You have so much to look forward to, and let's say that your spouse, they wake up beside you, and let's say that they're whining and complaining, and they're blaming you for not being close enough to them or something like that, or they're blaming you for how you parent the kids or something like that, or you just feel like you can't do anything right. And I just made a video on that recently entitled from doing no wrong to doing no right. And it's like it happens overnight where all of a sudden you can't do anything right. Well, I can tell you this, that the narcissist, they are pros at this. They are pros at ruining everything, right? You will literally be having an amazing day. Something great will happen. And then the narcissist, whomever that narcissistic person is in the equation, they will come through and they will ruin the day. And the truth is that they know that they ruin everything, right? And the thing is that they know that they're going to ruin your day. But the thing is that, see, narcissists, what they want is they want to feel like they are needed, right? They want to feel needed. That's why they ruin people's days, because they want to feel like if they can ruin somebody's day, that it gives them something to be happy about, because that's all they know what to do, right? And so the question people are going to ask me now is, well, if the narcissist is going to ruin my day, when they ruin my day, what am I supposed to do when they ruin my day? Well, you have really two options there when the narcissist they come through and ruin your day. You have two options. One option is you can react and you can tell them how you feel and say I don't like what you did, and you can do it like that. But truth is, if you go that way, all you're doing is that you're feeding their ego. All you're doing is giving them supply to abuse you more and to make your day even worse. So I don't advise you do that. Though, and then the second way, which is the way I would advise you guys go about it, you guys on my channel, the second way I'd advise you guys go about it is to not give it any attention, right? What I mean by that is to respond and not react, right? Don't let the narcissist know that they've gotten to you. Don't let the narcissist feel be made to seem as though they've won, because that's what the narcissist wants. They want to make it seem as though in everything that they win. They see everything as a competition, right? They see you doing better than them as a competition, and when they see you doing better than you, they will always when they see you doing better than them, they will always want to look for a way to one up you, to make it seem as though they can do better than you. So let's say if you got a promotion at work, let's say that example I was talking about a moment ago. Let's say that you got a promotion at work. Now they need to step on somebody else at their work if they do have a job. They need to go out to their work and they need to stomp on somebody else. They need to, if that person at their workplace is in line for a promotion, then what they will do is they will manipulate the bosses, and they will mention why they should get the promotion and why the other person should not get the promotion. Then before you know it, the narcissist gets promoted, and then 2 days later they come to you and say, guess what? I got promoted at my job, when really they know that they didn't deserve that promotion, and the bosses they just bent for them, because the bosses know that if they don't promote them, that the narcissist will give them trouble or hell to pay, right? So see, with narcissists, there's no winning with them, right? That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand, is that with narcissists, it's like a no-win situation, and it's like nothing you do will ever be good enough, because they'll always want to make it seem as though they can do better than you. And that's why I say your best line of defense against a narcissist is to respond. Don't let the narcissist know that they have gotten to you. Just ignore them, right? Pretend as if you understand and see what they're doing, but don't give it any attention. Don't show the narcissist that they are of any importance to you, because that's what they want. They want to make it seem as though they're important and that they are better than you. That's what they want. They want somebody. But the thing is that even so, it's a no-win, because narcissists, they're never satisfied. Even if you were to lather them up and give them a compliment and tell them how good they are, even though they don't deserve the compliment at all, it's still not going to be good enough, because narcissists believe that nothing is ever good enough. They're never satisfied. And when you are praising them, they think that you are doing it out of spite. They think that they think that you're trying to that they think that you're lying. They think that you're out to get them, because with narcissists, remember, they're full of anxiety, they're depressed. They always believe that somebody is out to get them. They believe that somebody is doing exactly what they are doing. The person that is close to them, right? Whether it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife, they always think that everybody is doing everything that they are doing. That's why they're jealous of everybody. That's why they're envious of everybody. That's why they want to be like everybody. That's why they believe that they're all the way up here, that they're better than God, when really they're all the way down there, right? Because they want to make it seem as though they are needed, because the disorder in their mind and the demons that are spinning around their minds tell them to do these things, right? And so all it takes is one person to ruin everything, and many times that is the narcissist that will ruin everything. Maybe somebody, it could even be something like this. Maybe somebody complimented you. Let's say that you and the narcissist are going out. Let's say you guys are going out for ice cream. I don't know, I'm just making up an example. Or let's say that you guys are going out for dinner. Or let's say maybe you guys don't even go out anywhere, and maybe I'll talk about both scenarios. So first, let's say that you guys go out somewhere. You guys go out for ice cream, you go out for dinner, or maybe you go out to the store to pick up something. I don't know. You guys are going out, and let's say that somebody, they give you a compliment. Let's say that they say, you have a nice shirt. That's a really nice shirt. Or let's say that let's say you're a guy. Let's say that they compliment you on your shirt. Let's say that they compliment you on your shoes. Or let's say that they compliment you on your appearance. That they just say you look very well put together. And then you say, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then the narcissist, let's say that they, after that, maybe in public, they say a passive aggressive comment like, oh, well, I'm surprised that they're complimenting you. And then, or let's say that you guys, get behind the wheel of the car, and, because narcissists like to abuse their victims when nobody else is around, usually, because they know that when they abuse their victims when no one else is around, and then their victims go and tell people about it, then the people that they tell won't believe them, because the narcissist already spread the smear campaign and already spread the lies about them, and nobody's going to believe you anyway, right? Or let's say that the narcissist isn't even with you. Right? Let's say that you go out and you get a compliment, let's say, and then you go home to the narcissist and you let them, and you don't even know they're a narcissist. You go home and say, yo, somebody told me I have nice shoes, and they said, that I have a nice shirt, that it looks well put together. Then the narcissist, a healthy, stable person will say, oh, that's great. Yeah, you really do look nice in that shirt. And it's good that someone was able to recognize that about you. That's what a healthy, stable person would say. The narcissist, on the other hand, would probably give you the silent treatment, and they wouldn't even give you a compliment. They'll probably just look at you and give you a stare like that. And then you'll be trying to figure out what's going on. And what you don't realize is that the narcissist, remember I said previously a moment ago, narcissists do this because they're jealous and envious of everybody. They believe that everybody should be a doormat. Everybody should bow down to them because they believe that they are God. They believe that they are better than God. They don't even submit themselves to God. They don't submit to anybody, right? Even their flying monkeys, even the people who enable their bad behavior and tell them how to disrespect people and even disrespect people with them, they don't even care about those people, right? And that's what these flying monkeys don't realize. Going off on another thing is that they don't realize that their lives are going to go sideways at one point as well, right? Sometimes they know that they're a flying monkey. Other times they don't. Other times they're innocent people who just think that they're just doing a favor for the narcissist. But what they don't realize is that the narcissist is going to destroy them eventually as well, right? The narcissist is going to throw them away as if they don't matter at all. Because you guys have to understand one thing. You guys, I'm trying to get everybody to understand is that narcissists, they do everything that the devil does, right? Satan in the Bible does, right? They do every single thing the devil does. So like how the devil in the beginning, in the book of Genesis, when, Satan was in the Garden of Eden, right? And he was slithering in the bushes like a snake, like an evil snake he is, right? And then Eve was told from God, don't eat that fruit. And then God said, don't eat that fruit. You can eat that fruit. And when you eat it, you'll be better than God, right? So narcissists, they do the exact same things, right? But what they know also is that what the devil does is that even when people follow his lead and people do exactly what he says, and people are subservient to the devil and have sold their souls to the devil is going to destroy them eventually too. Why? Because the devil is never satisfied with anybody, and the devil hates human beings because human beings were created by God, right? And so it's the same thing with the narcissist. Narcissists, they hate people, right? Because narcissists are jealous and envious of everybody. Even other narcissists hate other narcissists and this is what people don't realize. And many commentators and people talk about how, another narcissist will attract to another narcissist and they will love each other. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't even make any sense. Because narcissists are never satisfied with anybody. Because even if they do get involved with another narcissist, it's not because they love them, and it's not because they're going to build a relationship with them. No, it's not going to happen like that. It just means that if they got involved with another narcissist, it's because that's the person that's going to accept their poor behavior and validate them for however long. Because narcissists get bored with everybody eventually. Even other narcissists, even think about this. With other narcissists, they will get bored because remember, narcissists 99% of the time want to target people who don't know anything about narcissism. And so if they get involved with another narcissist who knows about narcissism, who knows the game, right? Then it's not going to be any fun for them because they want to deal with someone who doesn't know anything about narcissism. Right? And so that's what you guys have to understand too, on top of what I've just mentioned here. And so all it takes is one person to ruin everything. And usually the narcissists, they will do something to ruin it. Let's say it's your birthday. Let's say that you're celebrating your however old you are birthday. Let's say that's your birthday, and let's say that the narcissist, they could do many things on your birthday. One, they probably won't even show up for your birthday. That's one thing. The second thing is maybe they do show up for your birthday and they have a face on. They're looking upset, and they're looking around and they're all upset and angry and they're not happy. They're not celebrating with you. Maybe they get you a present, but it's not like a meaningful gift. It's maybe something that they've had and they just decided to gift it to you, and it means absolutely nothing to you because they know your likes, they know your dislikes, and they just decide, oh, I'm just gonna give them this because I don't have anything. I don't have any creativity. I don't know how to surprise anyone because I have nothing inside of me to give. I'm a very empty person. That's the narcissist talking, right? And so what you have to understand is that narcissists, they will ruin everything, right? They'll literally ruin everything, right? Let's say that it's your graduation, right? Let's say that you're graduating from high school, or let's say you're graduating from college or university, or you're some sort of ceremony for you, right? Let's say that you're graduating, and let's say that, the narcissist, they'll do one of two things. They probably won't even show up for your graduation, or maybe they'll show up late. They'll probably show up at the last minute when it doesn't show that you got your award. They show up when you didn't even get your award to congratulate you, right? Or maybe they show up to your graduation. Maybe when you get your award, they just walk out and they storm off and stomp away like a little child, right? And they start crying and they start getting upset, and you're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Well, what is going on there is that the narcissist, the reason why they ruin everything, they ruined your graduation, is because the spotlight isn't on them, right? It's because narcissists, they want to be the center of attention, right? And they know that the center of attention is on you and it's not on them, right? That's why they want to ruin it for you, because they want it to be on them, right? That's why they want to ruin your graduation, and that's why they want to see you miserable, because after the graduation, after you get your award and after you walk off stage and after it's time to celebrate with all the things at the reception, when they're nowhere to be found and you're trying to look for them, and then at the last minute when everybody's gone, they show up out of nowhere and they say, hey, I'm so proud of you. And then when you get into the car, they're berating you and they're bringing up something from 40 years ago that has nothing to do with your graduation. And then you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. Well, again, what's going on there is that they're jealous of you. They're envious of you, right? Even though they probably graduated with flying colors, but maybe they didn't even graduate from school. Probably they probably didn't graduate from school. Maybe what they did was they cheated their way through school. They got every one of their colleagues to do everything for them, right? And now they want to make it seem as though they're so good at what they do, and that's all a fake, that's all a facade, right? Because narcissists live in a facade world, right? They're very fake, they're very superficial, right? They believe that everybody should do everything for them, and that once somebody does something for them, they believe that they can just throw that person away because that person doesn't serve any value. That person doesn't serve any supply. They don't give the narcissist the supply that they need, right? And so what you have to understand, what you need to look for in people, this is very important. So you should probably pay close attention to this. What you need to look for in people is if they, now here's the thing. I want to explain this. Sometimes you have to give people a break because sometimes somebody truly did have a bad day. But I'm going to say a but here. You will know whether a person is having a bad day or not. And you will know if they were being honest with you and said, look, I had a really bad day today. And this is just, it's just not my day today, and I'm so sorry. And then, they celebrate with you anyway. That's a different thing in and of itself. But if somebody, right, is constantly, and it becomes a constant theme where you can't depend on them, where every single time that you're having a good day, it just seems like they blow it up. Or it seems like every time that you bring up something good that happened to you, they blow it up, they ruin it, or they make an excuse why they should have it and why you shouldn't have it. That is a huge red flag. I don't care if it's your parent, if it's your sibling, or if it's a family member. I don't care if it's your spouse. I don't care if it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, or your wife. I don't care who it is. Nobody should be disrespecting anybody like that. There's no excuse for disrespect. And you, watching my video, you shouldn't be tolerating disrespect from anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a guy you just met and he's tall, he's 6 foot something or whatever, and he has all his stuff together. It seems like he has all his stuff together, and he's a very attractive man and he takes care. I don't care if it's a woman and she's sexy as hell and she's beautiful and she's wearing makeup and she's all that and she looks like she has all her stuff together. If they can't appreciate you with something as simple as that, and yet you're appreciating them, and it feels one-sided, then that's not a person that you want in your life, because it's going to start small, but then over time they're going to abuse you more, because they're going to see how much they can get away with you. And once they see that they can get away with enough of that with you, they're going to keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you and pushing you to see how much they will get away with. And then once they get away with everything, then that's when they're going to walk away from you just like that, as if nothing happened. Because narcissists, they believe that they should be entitled to have what other people have, right? And then once they get that, they're not satisfied. Remember, narcissists are never satisfied. That's why, and I made a video on it some time ago. You should go watch it. You should go watch the video that I made some time ago about the fact that why narcissists divorce people. They divorce people because of two reasons. One is because they're not satisfied, right? They're never satisfied. And the second reason is that they want to control people. As long as they still have access to those people after they divorce them, right? After they divorce them, then they feel good about it, because they feel like they have control still of that person, right? Because the narcissist modus operandi at the end of the day, after everything, they want to know how much control they can have over people, right? That's what they want. They want control, right? So that's something that you guys need to wrap your heads around as well, is that narcissists, they're not stable people, right? They're not normal people, right? They have too many demons running through their minds. They have a disorder that doesn't allow for them to be able to self-reflect and be able to be an upstanding citizen or a good person. Narcissists are out for themselves. Once they deem that they have all the things that they can get from somebody, that's when they ditch them as if nothing happened. Because you're not of value to a narcissist. Narcissist sees you as a source of supply, right? Once they get all that supply from you, then they walk away from you as if nothing happened, because they don't care. They don't care about human beings, right? They don't care about anybody or anything for that matter, okay? So that's what I want you guys to understand about narcissists, okay? Is that, they will ruin everything and anything, right? So be aware of that. Next time that you're dealing with somebody, next time that you're around someone, no, I'm not trying to say, to be paranoid or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. That's not the point of why I make these videos. I'm saying this to say, just be aware, right? Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of when somebody's taking you for granted, right? Be aware of when somebody is actually respectful to you and when somebody's actually being disrespectful to you, right? Like I said, no one should have to tolerate poor behavior from anybody, right? I personally don't tolerate poor behavior from anyone at all. Once you show me who you are, strike two, you're gone just like that, right? I don't tolerate disrespect from anybody, and neither should you watching my video. So beware of when somebody is ruining a special occasion or something good for you on purpose, right? Willingly, right? Beware of it, right? If it becomes a recurring theme every time you're around this person, and it seems as though, this person's always unhappy and they're always making excuses, or they say that they'll be there for you, and then when it comes to the time when you need them, they're nowhere to be found, that's a huge red flag. It's a huge red flag that that person's not good for you. They're only using you for what they can get from you. Okay, so beware of those things. All right, beware. Don't pass it off as a joke. Don't pass it off as, oh, it's just my mom, or oh, it's just my dad, or oh, it's just my spouse. They sometimes they're like that. No, we don't accept poor behavior like that anymore. Once they show you that, then you say, you know what, you can stay away from me, and I'll continue to do me. You do me, I'll do me, and you do you. That's how it goes these days, right? Don't accept poor behavior. Don't dumb yourself down for somebody to disrespect you, because you keep giving to disrespect, it will continue to come back to you, right? Because the thing is, one thing I learned for myself is that you actually show people through your actions how you want them to treat you. If you continue to accept disrespect from people, they will continue to disrespect you because they know that they can get away with it with you. But if you have boundaries and you show them that you're not going to be disrespected, right? And you show them that, and once they see that in you, then they will know that they cannot get away with that with you. And then usually that's when they will walk away from you. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing when they walk away from you, because then they show you who they really are, right? Then they show you that they were only there for what they could get from you. They weren't there because they were truly authentic and genuine and real. They were there because they walked away from you because they see that they can't take from you any longer. Right? And nobody should be taken from anybody. Nobody should be taking anyone for granted. But sadly, the world we are living in, most people these days are out for themselves, unfortunately, right? But how you respond to that is what matters. And I made a video on that as well before. Your response to the narcissist matters, right? So pay attention to these things. These are things that you should be aware of, right? Like I said, don't be paranoid. Don't be thinking that every time of the day everyone's out to get you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just be self-aware, right? Of when people are taking you for granted, right? Don't always be giving to everybody, right? Take a step back and see if they will reciprocate the same respect to you. And if they don't, then you know that person is not good for you. Right? Because basic respect and people reciprocating, right? That's how you build healthy, stable relationships. When it's like a ping pong match, boom, 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 where you guys are going back and forth, that's a healthy, stable relationship. But if it's a relationship where it's one-sided, and this is something I talk about in my videos a lot, how to know you're dealing with a narcissist, the biggest way is if it's one-sided. And it feels as though you're giving so much, but then the other person's giving you nothing, right? And they're always whining, they're always complaining, they're always saying, "Oh, if you did this, I would do that. If you did that," and it's like if it always feels like you can't win with this person, then you know that that's somebody that doesn't belong in your life anymore. All right. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, guys. Like I said before, if you'd like a one-on-one session, please email me, paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com. Or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need some more advice, if you're trying to figure out how to break free from the trauma bond or the narcissistic fog, or you're trying to get out of whatever situation you're in, whether it's a relationship or a marriage or something like that, if you need some help, if you need some advice, if you're trying to get out and you need help, please feel free to reach out to me. Don't be shy, guys. Also, I put a link down below in all my videos of the podcasts I spoke on about my narcissistic experience. Please watch the videos. There's 2 parts to it. Please watch both parts of the video so that you can see my experience. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out. Like, subscribe, share it with somebody who you think could use the knowledge. Put a comment down below if you can relate to what I'm talking about. And I hope to see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for being here, and take care of yourselves.